This is the first video of our 50 video series for 69th Bpsc Prelims. And after watching all 50 videos, I can assure you that you can easily crack 69th Bpsc Prelims. Let's start. The National Institute of Ocean Technology. It was established in November 1993 as an autonomous society under the Ministry of Earth Sciences in India, and the National Institute of Ocean Technology is managed by the Governing Council, is headed by a director. So this institute is based in Chennai. Article 239AA was inserted in Constitution by the 69th Amendment Act 1991 and conferred special status upon Delhi following the recommendations of S. Balakrishnan Committee. So this committee is important, S. Balakrishnan Committee, and the issues regarding special status of Delhi is always in news. So this may be asked in the upcoming examinations. The census is a union subject under Article 246 of the Indian Constitution. So census is a union subject. The Census Act was enacted in 1948 to provide a plan for conducting population census along with the duties and responsibilities of the census officers. While the National Population Register, NPR National Population Register, only contains demographic information, more details are required for the census, like information on demography, economic activity, literacy and education, and housing and household amenities, among others. So this is the difference between National Population Register and the census. Investors from 21 countries including the US, UK, France, Australia, Japan have been exempted from the levy of angel tax for the investment in unlisted Indian startups. So this is a current news. Bihar state has total of 32 scheduled tribes, and all of them have been enumerated at 2011 census. The percentage of scheduled tribes population in Bihar is 1.28%. Sex ratio of scheduled tribe 958 females per 1000 males. Literacy rate of scheduled tribes in Bihar 51.1%. West Champaran having most populous city district as far as scheduled tribe is concerned. So the population is 2,50,046. In Katihar it is 1,79,971, and in Purnia it is 1,39,490. Santhal is the most populous tribe of the state. Orao and Kharwar are the second and third largest tribes. Greenhouse gases observing satellite, also known as Ibuki, is an Earth observing satellite and the world's first satellite dedicated to greenhouse gas monitoring. So for greenhouse gas monitoring, the first satellite was Ibuki, that was launched in 2009. So please remember the year 2009 Ibuki was launched. And the Ibuki measures the densities of the carbon dioxide and methane from 56,000 locations on the Earth's atmosphere. On February 26, 2023, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar launched the facility of Women Help Desk simultaneously in 500 police stations of Bihar. So Women Help Desk in 500 police stations of Bihar. Futuhat-e Firozshahi. So this was authored by Sultan Firoz Shah Tughlaq himself, and he was a Turkic Muslim ruler of the Tughlaq dynasty who reigned over the Sultanate of Delhi from 1351 to 1388, and he was the successor of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, who ruled from 1325 to 1351. The reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq 1325 to 1351, after Firoz Shah came and he ruled from 1351 to 1388. Bhubara or Bharukleshwar is a 5th or 6th century Gupta era Hindu stone temple site dedicated to Shiva near Satna. So in Gupta period, most of the temples were made by stone, except the brick temples in Bhitargaon, that is in UP. Almost every temples were constructed from stones. The main goal of Satellite Commission 1917 was to relieve universities of the burden of secondary education, allowing them to focus solely on higher education. So in 1917 the Satellite Commission came, which the focus was on the higher education in India. At present, 10 states fall under the 5th schedule, that is having scheduled areas: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Odisha. So these are the 10 states fall under schedule 5th schedule of the Constitution. And quite easy to remember all these 10 states, because the first 5 states you can remember from the name of nucleotide bases of DNA, that is adenosine, trypsin, guanine, cytosine and thymine. So A for Andhra Pradesh, T for Telangana, G for Gujarat, C for Chhattisgarh, so and H for the hydrogen bond that linked all these nucleotides, so H for Himachal Pradesh. And rest 5 you can remember MOM RJ, that is Mars Orbiter Mission RJ, radio jockey. So Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra MOM and RJ, Rajasthan and Jharkhand. So all these 10 states can be easily remembered. Criteria for declaration of scheduled area under the 5th schedule: the preponderance of the tribal population, compactness and reasonable size of the area, a viable administrative entity such as district, block or taluk, and economic backwardness of the areas as compared to the neighboring areas. So these are the criteria. The 6th schedule of the Constitution deals with the administration of the tribal areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. It has divided the land into 4 parts and 10 areas. The part first in Assam, North Kachar Hills District, the Karbi Anglong District, the Bodo Land and Territorial Areas District. Then in Meghalaya, the Khasi Hills District, Jaintia Hills District, Garo Hills District. And in Tripura Tribal Areas District, and in Mizoram, Chakma District and Mara District and Lai District. So these are the 10 autonomous district councils comes under Schedule 6 of the Indian Constitution. And one more thing, that Lai Haroba festival is celebrated in Manipur, not in Mizoram. So don't get confused by these Lai district and Lai Haroba festival. The 5G technology that operates in the millimeter wave spectrum 30 to 300 GHz, which have the advantage of sending large amounts of data at very high speeds. It operates in 3 bands, namely low, mid and high frequency spectrum. Now what is LCRD? This is Laser Communication Relay Demonstration. Is a technology demonstration that will pave the way for future optical communication missions. National Credit Framework, and this is quite important because this is something related to UGC. So National Credit Framework, it encompasses National Higher Education Qualification Framework, National Skill Qualification Framework and National School Education Qualification Framework. And according to UGC regulations, the credit shall remain valid for the maximum duration of 7 years. The India Plastic Pact, the first in Asia, launched in September 2021 in collaboration with Confederation of the Indian Industries and Worldwide Fund for Nature, India Plastic Pact. And the first Plastics Pact was launched in the United Kingdom in 2018. India generates 9.46 metric tons of plastic waste annually, of which 40% is not collected. India consumes about 13 million tons of plastics and recycle only about 4 million tons. MARPOL is the main international convention aimed at the prevention of pollution from ships caused by the operational or accidental causes. The Protocol of 1978 was adopted in the response to a number of tanker accidents in 1976 to 1977, MARPOL Convention. And this MARPOL Convention is one of the most important international marine environment convention. It was developed by International Maritime Organization with an objective to minimize pollution of the oceans and seas, including dumping, oil and air pollution. And this convention includes regulation aimed at preventing and minimizing pollution from ships, both accidental pollution and that from routine operations, and currently includes 6 technical annexes. And the most important point is that India is a signatory of MARPOL Convention. India is a signatory of MARPOL Convention. The Thamirabarni civilization in Tamil Nadu is at least 3,200 years old, reveals carbon dating done on organic material retrieved from archaeological excavation in Sivakalai, Thoothukudi district. Thamirabarni civilization in Tamil Nadu. And the shortest river in Tamil Nadu is Thamirabarni, that starts in Pothigai hills of the Western Ghats. So Thamirabarni river starts from the Pothigai hills of the Western Ghat, the shortest river in Tamil Nadu. In November 1945, the Indian National Army trial begins at the Red Fort. And this trial, the SN Khan, PK Sehgal, GS Dhillon, the first 3 senior INA officers, became symbols of the Indian fighting for her independence. The Indian National Army Defense Committee by Congress and a defense team including famous lawyers Bhulave Desai, Asaf Ali, Jawaharlal Nehru, Kailash Nath Kajju, Tej Bahadur Sapru and Lieutenant Colonel Horilal Verma. Poshan Gyan, that was launched on 13th April 2021, is a national digital repository on health and nutrition, and it was launched by Niti Aayog. Poshan Gyan was launched by Niti Aayog in partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Center for Social and Behavior Change, Ashoka University. National Court of Appeal (NCA). In the case Bihar Legal Support Society, the National Court of Appeal (NCA) in the case Bihar Legal Support Society versus Chief Justice of India, a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court considered the establishment of the NCA, that is National Court of Appeal, very desirable and stated that the current highest court should only hear cases involving constitutional and public law issues. The National Court Appeal, which has regional benches in Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata, is tasked with hearing appeals from High Court and tribunal decisions in civil, criminal, labor and tax matters under its jurisdiction. So it was about National Court of Appeal. And in such a scenario, the Supreme Court of India, which is currently based in Delhi, would only hear constitutional and public law cases. Hazara is an ethnic group of Afghanistan that are believed to be descendants of the founder of the Mongol Empire, Genghis Khan, and his army that overran the entire region during the 13th century. In 1893, Sayaji Rao Gaikwad started an experiment of providing free but compulsory primary education to all the children in the age group of 6 to 14 in 10 selected villages of Amreli Mahal. So it was Sayaji Rao Gaikwad who started the initiative in India regarding the compulsory education, primary education to the children. Okay. He decided to ramp it up in 1906 across the entire Baroda state, and this was for the first time in India that such a step was initiated. The railway budget was merged with the union budget in 2017, ending a practice of that began in 1925 under British rule. Vivek Dev Roy Committee recommended the merger of Indian Railway budget with the Union budget, and in 1920 an East Indian Railway Committee was constituted under the chairmanship of Sir William Ackworth. This committee consisted of 10 members, and among them 3 were Indians: V.S. Srinivas Shastri, Purushottam Das Thakur Das, and Rajendra Nath Mukherjee. The Ackworth Committee recommended the consolidation and nationalization of Indian Railways. Based upon the recommendations of Ackworth Committee, the finances of railways were separated in 1924, and thus from 1924 onwards the railway budget separated from the general budget, which came to an end in 2017. The financial bill is similar to a money bill in 2 aspects. Both money bill and financial bill first, the only Lok Sabha has the power to introduce it. It requires that financial bill first requires prior recommendations of the president for introduction. Now the difference is, it can be either rejected or amended by Rajya Sabha, which is not in the case of money bill. In the event of the deadlock, the president may call a joint session in the case of financial bill first, and the president may grant his consent, withhold his assent, or return the bill for reconsideration. The financial bill 2, that comes under Article 117 Clause 3, only deals with provisions regarding expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India and excludes any money bill matters. It is treated like an ordinary bill, and it can be filed in either house of the Parliament, and the President's approval is not required. In 1934, M.N. Roy proposed the idea of the Constituent Assembly. The demand was taken up by the Congress Party in 1935 as an official demand. With the establishment of National Green Tribunal (NGT) in 2010, India became the third country in the world to set up a specialized environment tribunal, only after Australia and New Zealand, the first developing country to do so. In 1892 parliamentary elections in Britain, Dadabhai Naoroji was elected from the Finsbury Central seat as a candidate of the Liberal Party. So he elected from Liberal Party in 1892, Dadabhai Naoroji. At its Bombay session 1904, the Congress protested the violation of rules by Lord Curzon as he used revenues from India for his forward policy in Tibet. So Bombay session was important for this very reason. 1901 Calcutta session was first time Mahatma Gandhi appeared on the Congress platform. Gandhiji urged the Congress to support the struggle against racial discrimination and exploitation in the country. At its 15th session in Lucknow in 1899, the Congress demanded that the British government put a stop to the drain of wealth from India to England. It was Lucknow in 1899, 15th session of Congress. On September 1906, Gandhiji led his first satyagraha in Transvaal, South Africa, protesting against the Asiatic Registration Act. So first satyagraha by Gandhiji in South Africa protesting against the Asiatic Registration Act. On January 1st, 1923, the Seva Dal was established at the Hindustan Seva Mandal with Jawaharlal Nehru as its first president. The Kakinada session was presided over by the Maulana Muhammad Ali, who was released in 1919 after spending 5 years in prison. And our Swaraj must be Sarvraj, the Raj of all. Swaraj must be owned by the minimum sacrificing of the maximum number and not by the maximum sacrifice of the minimum number, the Maulana said during his presidential address. So this is important. In 1937, first elections were held for the provincial legislatures. About 10 to 12% of the population had the right to vote during 1937, and the Congress won an absolute majority in 5 out of 11 provinces and formed government in 7 provinces. As per the National Wildlife Action Plan 2002-2016, land within 10 km of the boundaries of the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries is to be notified as eco-fragile zones or eco-sensitive zones. Sometimes this 10 km boundary can be increased or decreased. What is its importance? So the eco-sensitive zones are created as shock absorbers as well as the transition zone for the protected areas to minimize the negative impact of the fragile ecosystem by certain human activities taking place nearby. So this is the importance of these eco-sensitive zones. Now the Committee for Eco-Sensitive Zones, Gadil Committee and Kasturi Rangan Committee. The Gadil Committee report and Kasturi Rangan Committee report are both related to the protection of Western Ghats, and the Gadil Committee was formed by the Ministry of Environment in 2010 to study the impact of population pressure, climate change and development activities on the Western Ghats. In the Kasturi Rangan Committee, which proposed 37% of the total area of Western Ghats, which is roughly 60,000 square kilometers, to be declared as eco-sensitive area by the Kasturi Rangan Committee. The report recommended a blanket ban on mining, quarrying, setting up of red category industries and thermal power projects.